What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to another Mongil Star Dive video. All right, guys, I'm re-recording this one right now because I realized I did a conquest fight with the last video when it actually doesn't affect it by conquest. So this, what I'm about to talk about, is pretty much unprecedented in any gacha. Still is to this day, but it only affects story mode. I want to make sure I get this clear. I put it in my comment section, but I figured, you know what? It's not enough. So let's cover this the proper way and give you guys all the information you need to know of what I'm referring to. Now, before I go any further, I do want to remind everybody the content creator program is going on. We are going to be giving out a lot of codes this season. So make sure if you're not already supporting, hit that support button. It's absolutely free. I've sent out codes to all my supporters, guys. So if you want to get your codes, all you got to do is go to this page where you support me, click on the login, get yourselves in there. And once you get to the My Page section, there is a support history section and a coupon history right below it. Click on that coupon, copy it into the game. Right now, it's 60 starlight and two stamina increases with those little jars. So you guys can get those codes right now if you support. I do have to send them out manually though. So if you don't have it, please leave a comment and I'll definitely send the code out to you. I do it once every day, sometimes twice if I have the time, and I'll make sure that everybody gets it as soon as you can. Now, it's first come, first serve, and there are limited codes, so make sure you do that. Now, what I want to talk about here, guys, is pretty important. I think this is something that a lot of people need to kind of remember. If you are playing this game and you are looking to do it at its most peak level, then you want to play a specific mode. Okay, so this game does something that no gacha has ever done, in my opinion. I don't think to this day for 20 years think I've ever seen this. But if you go right over here under controls, there is a right here under controls, you'll see there is two different difficult settings. That's right, two settings. Now, if you want to take your time and do everything the recommended way, which is the tough way, then you go Path of Dusk. Now, what Path of Dusk does, guys, essentially is increase all the mobs' HP, attack, defense, etc. to as hard as possible. So when you're playing the game, you're doing the highest difficulty as you can, okay? So if you are stuck somewhere, it's most likely because you're playing this mode. Okay, now if you want to make things just more casual and go through the entire story mode with relative ease without having to summon too much and just kind of save all your resources, Path of Dawn is recommended. Now, it's up to you which way you want to go. I've been playing the game the entire way with Path of Dusk, and this is the first time ever I've had to switch over to a the casual Path of Dawn, only because I was stuck on a story mode boss, which was giving me a little bit of trouble. And you guys probably know which one I'm talking about. It's this mode here where you kind of, right before you get Gabby, and I didn't have Gabby on my team. I don't have any earth elements, and I didn't have enough resources to level up. So all I did, guys, was I simply switched that over to the casual mode, and I literally used any element I wanted to absolutely destroy the boss. It was an actual joke in comparison. Where I was originally struggling to beat it, now it's like literally a third of the fight. It's crazy how much easier it is. So the problem with this, there's two little issues with this, right? Number one is the fact that you can complete this game fairly easily in terms of story, and everything is locked behind story mode. I'm not joking. Like, in terms of progression, in order to do any form of new stages or any type of newer content in terms of getting gear, getting yourself some skill scrolls, or etc, like everything in terms of the path and the conquest is locked behind the story mode. So if you're behind on story and you've got enough power, you're not going to be able to do a lot of those extra modes. So what devs have done is allowing people to do two things. Number one, if you want to casually play this and unlock everything, you can through this mode. So going through the Dawn is up to you. Now, if you're wondering how a lot of people have been able to complete it, well, this is how, right? A lot of people have been using the casual mode to go through the story real quick, and then have started to become farmers for all the end game content. And I say quote unquote end game content as in what's available now in terms of the first iteration of this game without a new patch coming out. This is, whatever the end game content is now is very, very viable without having to do any type of pay to win activities whatsoever. Now, this again is something that you don't see very often in any gacha. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've ever seen this in a gacha before, where a dev makes the content easier and you don't have to pay for it. So this is a very exciting, I say the word unprecedented because I really mean it, discovery in this game, in addition to this game, because this will allow players to do something that they want to do, and that is support the game on their own free will. Netmarble has become a little bit better in their management of scumminess. That's the best way I can put it, right? Because Netmarble has a really bad reputation in terms of being like a company that takes, milks their players with some of their games. This dev team and Solo Leveling, when it first started, and a little less now, has always been really good to their player base. And this is something that can really, really be exciting for a lot of people to dive in, especially if you're playing catch up, right? If you're somebody who's coming into the game fairly late or you're a couple weeks behind, this mode will allow you to kind of speed through the game and make the content much easier and allow you to catch up to other players so you can enjoy the game's actual end game in terms of conquest. I think there's the rifts and everything like that at a quicker pace. So for those who are like, hey, Payne, I'm bored of the game, I want to know, did you guys do this? Because this is my first time using this mode, and I can already tell such a massive difference. Like now granted, I don't have as much time to play as most other players do in content creation. I am first and foremost, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I have kids, and like 2 of them, as a matter of fact, they're babies. And at the same time, like for me personally, it's one of those situations where like this is a side business for me. I have a career outside of this, and content creating is something I really, really enjoy doing. I love making guides, and I usually don't like to rush through games. I usually like to enjoy games. And somebody mentioned something recently on one of my content, and they're like, hey buddy, like your content's a little behind than everybody else. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, there's a couple of reasons behind it. But I also then started to realize, hey, everybody who I know is a content creator, not everybody, most who are like free to play and stuff, are actually playing this casual mode and are finishing this game so much faster. And these are some of the bosses here you'll get stuck on, right? Like this boss here is actually a pretty tough boss when you play it on Dusk mode versus Dawn. So if you guys are stuck, please don't hesitate, guys. This is, I think, built in for a reason to allow players to have the ability to kind of do something without paying. And this is a really, really cool feature. Now, again, this only does affect story mode, guys. And this is why I deleted the original video when I was doing Conquest to show the difference. It doesn't affect Conquest, doesn't affect anything else, like any of the past. But for story mode, because everything is locked behind it, you definitely want to do it. So, yeah, if you're stuck, guys, still continue using food. Still definitely level up armor. Still definitely, get your skills up. All that stuff is still going to matter at the end of the day. But this is just an easier way to make sure that you guys can get through content without having to, spend your hard-earned dollars to get through it. Now, if you want to support the game, guys, there's nothing wrong with that. Like everybody who wants to support the game, all the power to you. If you want to give devs some money and be like, hey, thanks for making this mode, thank you for helping all of us be able to play a game that we enjoy, and that's why you want to spend. That's the right reason to spend. You know what I mean? That's like actually a good reason to spend versus, hey, you know what? We're forced and we're stuck somewhere and there's no other way to get through this. So, we're going to be doing this the hard way. That part sucks, right? And luckily we're not in that boat, so we can kind of get through this mode pretty easily and hopefully, complete this journey without too much of a headache, without spending, an arm and a leg in terms of finances. So big up to the devs on this. I think this is a fantastic move on their end. And I applaud anybody who wants to take advantage of this. Never feel bad about doing so, because these are one of the things where I think it's very important to put life first. Gaming comes second. Things are, you don't have to be super sweaty in this game to see results. And I think that's a really good life game balance, which a lot of people obviously, have a hard time with, because, gamers like myself and yourself, like I'm older now, so I don't have that time. But a lot of gamers nowadays don't have the same, especially people my age, don't have the same level of time and commitment they can put in a game. So it's really nice to see something like this available so people can, enjoy the game to its fullest, enjoy the story mode without having to buy a cheat or any of that jazz. So again, leave a comment, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I'm very curious if you guys are using this mode. Again, this is my first time doing this. I wasn't planning to originally do this mode, but now I'm kind of like, maybe I'll do this just to play a little catch up. Maybe I do want to do some of this stuff. And I don't think it's going to ruin the game for me in any way, but at the same time, I'm just shocked that this even exists in any gacha atmosphere. Because again, most of the time, devs are like, yo, you want to get ahead? Pay up. And again, it's kind of nice not to have to do that for once. All right, folks, let me know what you think in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.